So we have 4 short presentations, one from myself, Demo from Business Energy Scotland, David from the Extend programme at Strathclyde University, and my colleague David will touch on some other funding support that's currently available from West Lothian Council. At the end of each presentation, there will be an opportunity for questions, or you can wait till the end of all 4 presentations and ask for when you've heard from all 4 speakers. If there is any questions that are maybe a bit commercially sensitive, or if you actually think, oh, I should have asked that after the webinar's recorded, no problem, do come to us. Either go to your business advisor, or you should all have a copy of my contact details when I circulated the meeting invite. That's absolutely fine. We can talk offline as well. So the format is usual. If everyone could just stay muted unless you're speaking, and if you do have a question, if you just use the raise hand function. So David is going to run the slide deck for us. And if you could just kick us off, David, with that, and then we will get started. Brilliant. So yeah, welcome to this our new funding webinar that's focused on sustainability support. And I will start by talking us through the energy efficiency grant that's time-limited funding currently available from West Lothian Council. So operating sustainably has become a source of competitive advantage, and the low carbon fund that we've got available to support your business can help with projects or processes that you might not be able to get over the line without the help of this grant support. So the aim is to assist your business with projects that work towards lower emissions or overcome barriers related to net zero. It can help to implement new processes that support net zero targets, support businesses to promote your green credentials, and help you take advantage of net zero opportunities. So some potential grant ideas would be you could make changes to how waste is processed in your business. So this can include overall waste reduction strategies or repurposing waste material. The grant could be used to implement maybe nature-based solutions that can include investment in sort of reforestation or rewilding projects that are aligned with carbon offsetting. But it is important to note that there must be changes to practices, that we can't just have business as usual and use an offsetting to sort of reduce your carbon footprint. There has to be that commitment to change. It could be support in switching to more sustainable suppliers or raw materials. It could also help to support energy reduction technology, or support to market or rebrand your business's sustainable practices. Because with all of this, the sort of journey to net zero, the key is credibility. So being open and honest about your business's transition to net zero will build better brand awareness and trust with your customers. So just the grant offer and criteria. So your business could get up to £10,000 as a grant, and as I've mentioned, it is time limited. So this money is only available till the financial year end. Your business must employ a minimum of 5 staff, have been trading for 1 year, are showing growth potential over the next 3 years. Ideally, you've already taken some steps to complete a carbon footprint calculation, and it would support changes that would help reduce emissions that are identified within the Scope 3 of the Greenhouse Gas Protocol. But what I will say is, like, all projects and proposals will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. And what we're really looking for is a project that is clearly linked to carbon reduction or net zero targets. Obviously, you're all here today, and we know we've got some of our partners speaking at this webinar. So Business Gateway, West Lothian, we do work with key partners to provide a full package of support relating to sustainability, and you will hear from 2 of those partners later on in the webinar. But we do also have a package of expert help available, so your business could also get some support either fully funded or partially funded consultancy support from an environmental expert. And that could be used to help develop projects or strategies that are linked to sustainability, and it can be accessed alongside this low carbon fund as well. So any questions on that? No, I think we're okay just now. Right, well, like I said, there's an opportunity for questions at the end of the webinar as well. So what we'll do just now is I'll pass you over to our next speaker. So Demo, if you're okay, just to unmute yourself. We've got your slides loaded here, and Demo is from Business Energy Scotland. Is going to give you an overview of the SME Loan Fund and other support they have available.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for the invitation to speak at today's event. As Amanda said, my name is Demo, and I'm one of the business energy advisors at Business Energy Scotland. What we are is an advice service funded by the Scottish Government and managed by Energy Saving Trust. And we exist to provide free and impartial energy advice to Scottish businesses and community organisations. We have a host of resources available on our website, which are free and available to anyone. And for Scottish SMEs, so small and medium enterprises, we also have a dedicated one-to-one support through one of our advisors. And we also have a network of energy consultants who we can commission time to, and they can assess particular projects or particular buildings for improvements. The way we provide our support is through advisors such as myself, and as I mentioned, the energy consultants that we have in our framework. On screen now, you can see some of the successes of the program since it's existed for over 10 years now. We've helped to identify over £200 million in savings, energy savings for businesses. We typically found about a 24% average energy saving per business, and about 9 out of the 10 of our clients would recommend the service to other organizations. And indeed, that's how we get a lot of the referrals coming to us. One of the things we do is provide access to the Scottish Government's SME loan scheme, which is an interest-free loan scheme where business can borrow between £1,000 to £100,000. The loan is unsecured and there's no setup fees, and it can be set against capital allowances. Loans are repaid over an 8-year period, and it's available to Scottish SMEs trading for over 12 months. There are some other terms and conditions as well. At the moment, the Scottish Government has a cashback grant scheme, which means that a business can also get up to £20,000 in cashback grant funding. You can see some stats on the loan scheme on the right-hand side of the slide. So to date, there have been over 1,000 applications that have been approved for the loan, and about £26 million worth of loans and grants already allocated. And a lot of that has been paid out to businesses and community organizations. Here is a kind of a breakdown of the funding that's available. So on the top, you can see the list of measures that can be funded through the loan and what funding is available. So you can see for renewable heat, at the moment, the Scottish Government is offering an enhanced cashback grant of 75% of the installation costs, up to a maximum of £10,000. For general energy efficiency measures, there is a cashback grant of 30%, again, up to a maximum of £10,000. And for electricity generation technologies, so that's solar PV, wind turbine, microhydro, and a few other technologies, biomass room heaters, combined heat and power with biomass, and anaerobic digestion, it is just an interest-free loan. And on top of this cashback, there's also the loan value of up to £100,000. I anticipate I might get a few more questions about the loan and the support that we provide in the Q&A session afterwards. But if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them now.
Okay, thanks, Timo. I don't see any hands going up, but like you said, there is a Q&A at the end. So, yep. Thanks for that presentation. Really like sort of brief overview of support that's also available from Business Energy Scotland. So we'll head over now to David, who's joined us today from Strathclyde University Extend programme. David, are you okay to share David's slides separately?
Yeah.
Yeah,
give me
okay.
just, yeah, I'm going to switch over.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks, David. David, I'll pass over to you.
Good. Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. We are part of Strathclyde University. The project started as in a core of Strathclyde University. However, we have we are funded through a Scottish government, a Scottish enterprise, and several councils. Who we are a team of experts to support SMEs across Scotland, just mainland, to support SMEs to understand their net zero, their journey toward net zero, and we also help them and guide them through carbon reduction. As I mentioned, the project is in partnership with several councils: South Lanarkshire, South Ayrshire, East Ayrshire Council, University of Strathclyde, Scottish Institute of Remanufacturing, Smarter Sustainable East Kilbride, and few other councils that I've just didn't have a space to put their names here, and also a Scottish enterprise and the Scottish government. What do? We have several activities that we support and we perform. One of them is raise awareness of net zero, the context of net zero for your business and your processes. We do analysis of situation, process of the businesses and manufacturing processes. We provide advice on design process revision to reduce carbon or also reducing waste and how we can perform waste reduction. We have a pool of experts funding business opportunities to support net zero. It's a wide range of experts funding business opportunities, so there was no time for me to put all of them here. However, if any of you is interested, please get in touch with me and I'm more than happy to support you there. Where do we focus? If we consider a business as a four main category: facility, waste stream, product, and infrastructure. In each category, we have subcategories that we provide supports for. For facilities, we provide decarbonization, we provide energy storage advice. For waste stream, we try to be innovative and think of recovery, reuse, and reduce. When it comes to product, we have experts to having a green design, choosing green materials for your products. And also when it comes to infrastructure, logistic, storage, all those aspects. What I need to mention here is that although the theme is for manufacturing companies, however, all service companies are welcome. So any of service companies that are in need for some support, please get in touch and I'm more than happy to support. And our services, the main one is improve. However, if we start with training, we have events, we can provide CPD courses free of charge. We can provide case studies for your business. For improving, we do analysis, future SMEs, and product design. We connect you to right people, right experts, right type of funding across Scotland. We have a really good relationship with Innovation UK, so any fund or any project there, we are aware of them. We can connect you to them. That's our all activities that we do. You should have my details in the beginning of the slides in case anyone is would like to have a chat, offline. I'm more than happy to take it. Otherwise, I'll wait for Q&A session.
Thanks, David. That was brilliant. Even if you want to share your contact details in the chat for anyone that might want to contact you after, that would be brilliant. So any questions for David there? I think we're okay. So on that, we'll just go over to David, who's just going to give a roundup of other funding that's available from West Lothian Council. David, I'll pass over to you.
Hi, Amanda. I don't know, do we want to do a Q&A just now on the environmental support before I go on to the other support, or?
I don't see any hands.
Does anybody have any questions about environmental stuff before I go off on a wee bit of a tangent in terms of other support we've got?
There we go. Yeah, Ewan, you got a question? I think you're still on mute, Ewan.
Sorry, I've got a problem with my mic.
Right, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. My question: can you use the initial part of the presentation, the up to £10,000 grant? Is that able to use that for capital projects?
Yeah. So we would, like I said, would take each sort of project on a case-by-case basis. So depending on the nature of the project and how it links back to working towards like net zero, then yeah, we would be happy to have a discussion around that, no bother.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Martin?
Yeah, just wanted to ask both Demo and David whether their support programmes are also available to limited companies and cooperative bodies that operate as social enterprises in the third sector. If they're still a limited company, they meet all the other criteria for SME, can they still access like the support that you're offering?
I'll probably take that first. Yes, we can support limited companies, unincorporated organizations, charities, social enterprises. Those all fall under our remit. As long as they meet the definition of being an SME, it is something that we can support, and they can provisionally also apply for the SME loan. Although, as I said, there's a few other T's and C's that we can assess on a case-by-case basis.
That's great, thanks.
And from my side, exactly the same. As long as they meet the remit of being an SME, we can provide support, and all of our supports are free of charge.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mark Hamilton.
Morning, just make sure I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
Thanks. Colorado Construction, based in Livingston. We're pretty much at the start of thinking about net zero and how to go about things, but obviously there's quite a lot of organisations organising support, but in terms of a first port of call to really think about how to set a plan, is that with yourselves, Amanda and David?
Yeah, David, I can see you're went to jump in there. Yeah, if you're at very early stages, then I would probably say would link you in with David as it is like a free service.
Yes.
And based on what work or support David can offer, then we obviously have funding available and our own consultancy support available. But as a sort of first protocol, I'd be happy to have a chat, even with myself and David, and we can see the best way to go forward. David, does that sound okay with you?
That's exactly how it should work.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Any other questions? Right, I think that's us now, David, if you want to take us on a bit of that tangent.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Amanda. So yeah, I'm just going to go a quick run through of other funding West Lothian Council have to support West Lothian based businesses. So we have business development grants. And these are sort of open at the moment and continue. Would expect them to continue for a wee while. So our sort of traditional funding we have is GAP funding, which Growth Assistance Project. So this is open to our key sectors really within West Lothian. So life sciences, engineering, construction, manufacturing, food and drink, or any sort of innovation sort of type projects. And that's to support businesses to sort of improve competitiveness, if I can say it, create high value jobs, sustainability sort of projects around that. And there's grants potential up to, as it says on the screen there, up to £45,000 for bigger projects. So obviously speak to your advisor regarding that. As I said, the key driver for that really is job creation, high value jobs for the GAP fund. We've also got a training grant, obviously there's a lot of problems in the market at the moment with skills gaps and things like that. So we're keen to support businesses upskill internally and support existing staff. So if you're looking to obviously do that and invest in your existing staff, speak to us about our training grants. We can help do that. And again, that's probably looking at our key sectors, but again, open to speak to other businesses depending on the projects and what they're looking to do. Economic Recovery Fund, again, similar type funding and similar sort of key drivers for support, looking to help you sort of grow, adapt and become resilient. So again, investing in training and sustainability and things like that, any of these sort of projects, we could open that funding up for. So these funding, I said that there's no sort of time on these ones at the moment. We've had them for a wee while and they probably continue to go. So hopefully we'll have them for a while. I'll now talk about the Digital Development Grant. Similar to the one that Amanda talked about earlier, the low carbon grant. This is time limited, so we've only got it till the end of the financial year, so the end of March 2023. Although we'd be looking to try and get projects in probably for the start of the year, the time we go through the process and things like that. So this is to support any businesses. As I said, it's a digital development grant looking at investing in sort of digital projects. So the purpose of the grant is looking at you to sort of streamline your processes. So it might be paper-based systems, looking to bring in an app and make it more streamlined, bring a new software system, infrastructure. And if it's going to help you obviously grow, increase revenue, create jobs and improve your cyber security, all that kind of stuff, any sort of projects round about that. The grant offer, again, similar to the low carbon grant, it's up to £10,000 for sort of 20k projects, so 50% funding. That's for VAT registered. You need to be a VAT registered business to get the 10,000. If you're not VAT registered, it would be 5,000. In terms of as I said, the sort of project costs outlined on the screen. So it's really looking at, as I said, new websites, developing apps, IT infrastructure, even training towards digital skills internally. We would look at that. So again, open to any projects that you think would fit around digital. We're quite open to speak to you and see how we can help. In terms of the process, there's an application process that we need to go through. And in terms of that, there's some sort of evidence that we need as part of that. So you need to prove, obviously, you're VAT registered. We've also got, through Business Gate, we have a service called Digital Boost. So as part of this process, we would like you to complete the Digital Boost health check. So you can complete that online and that'll give you a report. So we would require that as part of the application. We'd also then look for quotes from suppliers for the funding. Also as well, we're obviously, all of our funding as well, we're now looking for businesses to have an environmental policy in place. So again, if you don't have that, again, we can link you into Amanda and our existing support to help you do that. And then as part of most of our grants, we would need to see financial information, so your accounts, your projections, business plan and things like that as part of the process. So that's the sort of, gives you an overview of that. I'll go on to, I've not made another slide up because I was only really quick. There's a few other grants we've got as well that I'll quickly just mention. We've also got a graduate recruitment grant. Again, it's time limited, similar to the digital and low carbon grant to the end of the financial year. That's to support businesses bringing a new graduate. So there's funding up to £10,000 for a minimum starting salary of 25k. And the key areas for the graduates, they either have to be a STEM graduate, a cyber security graduate or an environmental green champion. So again, there's funding round about that. And we also have a fund called the Job Creation Fund to support businesses, again, create employment. And that particularly can help if you're looking at taking on apprentices. So we've got a scheme called Steps into Work, which fits under that. So if you're looking to employ somebody who's aged between 16 and 24, we can help pay their wages initially with our wage subsidy scheme. And we also have a fund as well to support over 25s from West Lothian as well. So there is funding around the job creation grant as well. So hopefully that gives you a sort of whistle-stop tour of some of the other funding as well. But obviously any questions, just ask away just now, or again, if you want to obviously speak privately, if it's commercially sensitive, then obviously speak to myself or your own advisor, and we can arrange to do that. But I'll open the floor up to any questions if anybody wants to ask anything regarding this or any other ones about the environmental support.
Thanks, David. Yeah, now is just a time if there's any further questions about the environmental support or the sort of funding that David's just mentioned.
Doesn't seem like anybody's got any questions.
No.
So there's links to our website, obviously, in terms of all the support. You can have a look on investinwestlothian.com. I think I was actually going to ask a question about the loan, if that's okay, for is it Demi? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Demo, sorry, Demo. Do we know how long
it's a weird name.
No. How long is that going to be in place for? And what's the process in terms of start to finish? If a business applies, what's the sort of timescales?
So the loan has been around since as long as I've been with the service, and then some. I don't see that changing, although I don't know how long it will be there for. That's a decision that the Scottish Government makes every financial year.
Yeah.
The newest kind of introduction to the loan is the enhanced cashback grant of up to £20,000. That used to be a lot less. And again, that's only guaranteed until the end of the financial year. We hope that it will be extended into the next financial year. In terms of the process for accessing the loan, one of the conditions of the loan is that a project, a measure that a business wants to apply for funding for needs to be independently assessed by one of our framework consultants. So the first thing we do is we support the business in getting this assessment done. So we talk to them about the measures that they look to install, how suitable they may be. We request 12 months of billing information so we know how much energy a business uses. We also asked a business to fill out one of our forms, what's called a support request form, and that allows us to gather initial information on the business to confirm that they're eligible and confirm a few other things before we commission the work to a consultant. It then takes a few weeks for the consultant to produce the report. It goes through our internal QA process, and then it's issued to the client. And at that point, the client can apply for funding if they already have quotes. If not, this is where we step in as advisors. And kind of the bulk of our work happens is we try to break down barriers to the business implementing the recommendations in the report. So we can help a business make a case to senior management, to boards. We can help them find installers. We can help them assess quotes impartially, but we can provide some technical expertise. We can ask our consultants to make presentations. We can review funding applications for the SME loan, so the loan application, provide feedback. We can review quotes for any missing information. We try to identify barriers and try to break them down. And then if the business wants to use the loan, we help them with that. We answer any questions that come up in the application process, explain the kind of the niceties of the loan all the way through until the measures have been installed and the client claims funding through the loan.
That's great. No, that's good.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, as you can imagine at the moment, with energy prices being what they are and businesses not being protected by the cap, we have never been busier. So at the moment, there are some delays in us processing new inquiries. We're getting record number of inquiries all the time. The Scottish Government a couple of weeks ago announced extra funding for our service. So we are adding more capacity to the service, and we hope that those timescales change significantly soon. But just to manage people's expectations, that at the moment there are some delays in processing new inquiries just because of how busy we are.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's totally understandable, I think, with everything else that's happening. So that's good to know. If anyone is interested in approaching Business Energy Scotland, there might be a bit of a delay in their initial response to you. So any further questions? Right, I don't see any other hands up. So it's just quickly to say thank you to our speakers today. I think that's been really informative and really useful. And thank you to the businesses who've taken time out their day to pop along, and hopefully you've got something out of this. Obviously, we've recorded this, so we will look to share it on our social media. But we are happy to do any follow-up out once this webinar has finished. So if you do have any questions, please just do get in contact with us. And that's it from us. So just a thanks and take care.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.